¿Qué ondas, primos?
Primas.
Y Primxs.
Welcome to
My Primos.
My Primos.
My
Primo
podcast.
My name is Freddie.
My name's Kevin Garcia.
My name is Elia Maria Madrid.
This is Chikume, whenever I can make it.
My Primos podcast discusses all things fandom and pop culture,
From comic books,
Movies?
To whatever obsession we have this week.
but with a Latine
Malatine.
perspective. Remember, we're all primos,
We're all Primxs.
We're all primos.
no matter what part of the world we're from. ¿Qué ondas, primos, primas, and primes, and welcome to the final episode this season of My Primos podcast. My name is Primo Freddy, and with me tonight are my primos and yours. We have Mr. Kevin Garcia.com. So
Yo.
what's up, Kevin?
What's up, Kevin?
We have Miss Elia.
Not even a comment.
Spice Illustration. Say what's up, Elia.
What's up, Elia?
And back, the long, far away primo in a whole nother state, which is like the windy state. I don't know. What is it called? Well, Mr. John Ovino.
That
in the
one.
comments. Say what's up, John.
What's up, John?
All
Hey.
right. Hey, and of course, hosting us as always, as most of the time, Primo Freddy. Say what's up, Primo Freddy.
What's up, Primo Freddy? There you
Excellent,
go, guys.
excellent,
There you
excellent,
go.
excellent,
There you
excellent,
go.
excellent.
I joined it. I did it.
One of
Well,
us,
here we
one
are.
of us.
One of us. Here we are. We are at the end of the season. We had a little break in between because, the holidays and
Mhm.
stuff and things and the world. The world, lack of a better word, to be real with you, got punched in the gut.
Yeah.
Pretty tough. We will move forward. We will look out for each other, and we
Ye-
will be more to each other.
I don't want to get into conversation about it, but I will say, even though it's going to be worse than last time, somehow it didn't hit me as hard because I guess I was kind of prepared for it emotionally. I don't know.
I
I got blindsided, man. I was like kicked in the stomach. I was like, where did that come from? Like, what?
Man,
And then-
I know.
People start coming out of the woodwork like, you did what? Why?
Yeah.
Like, you
That was a
who?
big
Like, I
thing
thought
for
I
me.
knew you.
It's like
That was the
Latinos?
hard part.
Yeah. That's the
Dude,
hard part.
my own
course,
therapist.
I'm going to, I
Yeah.
mean.
Wait, seriously?
Seriously,
You did?
my own
Okay.
therapist. Had to fire my therapist.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
That's intense.
Yeah.
I had to
Mm.
stop hanging out with a good friend of mine that I thought was reasonable, but sadly, it just kind of became that conversation. Like, hey, man, like, even my son had it at school. Some of his friends were like touting that. So the next day, they were wearing the MAGA hat and they
No.
were, they were
Yeah.
spitting stuff. And my son was like, I'm not digging this, man. I don't like this. And he kind of
Nah,
just
dude.
literally
And
just
you're
kind
in
of.
Fort Worth. Shit's nastier over there.
Yeah, it really is.
Ugh.
People ask me, why do I have some of these kind of people on my friends list? Because I got a couple on my Facebook, and there's a reason for it. It's so I can see what their conversation is.
Yeah.
Simple as that. And I can guarantee they're not listening to this, so they won't even notice.
Cool.
No, but that was a whole thing. That was a whole like 2 weeks of like I felt like I felt like I had like a really bad hangover. Like I was just kind of like always like like a weird taste in my mouth. I was gonna have
Yeah.
a stroke. I was like, this really feels weird, but it was just disappointment.
Yeah.
Disappointment.
I was deleting people like crazy. I was like, all right,
Yeah.
you're done. You're gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I legitimately had a stomach issue. Now, admittedly, it was so much worse because of the news.
Yeah.
And I probably wouldn't have been doubling over in pain. But I mean, I did not want to call in sick the next day at work, but I had to call in sick the next day at work.
Oh, I didn't either. I had to be in the office, like in person. I was like, oh, yeah.
No, it's tough,
rough.
man, and it's crazy to move past this here. But it's crazy how emboldened people are. My wife works in retail, and someone just approached her. Like my wife said, she noticed that people were on their best behavior.
Mm.
They were almost waiting to see what we would do. Like they were just like, hey, like people that voted that way.
Trying to see if they can get a rise out of people.
Yeah, they can get like kind of to see like what's going on. Like, am I gonna get you mad? Am I gonna say something to upset you? And she said that people were like almost like baiting people to get into these like
Yeah.
altercations. And she's like, yeah, I can't. And thankfully nothing
Yeah.
happened, and we'll move forward from this. But it's upsetting, but we move on. We move on
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, we have each other to lean on. Primos, I want to just go ahead, John.
The Primos is what it's all about. That's all I was going to say.
We're here to have some fun. Let's enjoy the last episode here of the season. Primos, remember, of course, you can follow us all year long. We take a small break here for the holidays, but all year long at My Primos Podcast and myprimospodcast.com. And remember, just check in on each other. That's my biggest thing from this because
Always.
you never know what happens. The winter and the holiday seasons are these days where people just kind of, some people don't have primos to hang out with, but no primos, you
Yeah.
have us. Hit us
Yeah.
up, listen to us, laugh with us. I'm going to be online here and there, but don't shy away from it, okay? Don't feel like you
Yeah.
can't reach out.
We're the Primos of the world.
Yeah.
Primos of the world.
Community is
Oh.
what gets us through it.
I want to start off tonight. We have a lot of things to cover, right? We have John here visiting as well, but I want to cover Elia. Congratulations on your
Thank you.
Kickstarter.
Thank you.
Your I Have an Inkling was successful.
Yeah.
I had an inkling it would be successful.
I didn't at the end.
Oh, I know that feeling so well. I know that feeling so well.
Tell us, what was that like?
Oh my god, it was stressful. I mean, first, like, going into it, I felt great. Like, I was like, this is doable. This is definitely something that I can get done. But what I didn't take into account for, because I'll ping it back real quick, the election happened. And I wasn't expecting it to go the way it did. So it literally, like, it was like a punch to my gut. I didn't have motivation to, like, promote. I was like, dude, this just happened. And I'm like, oh, here's my little comic. Ha ha ha. I wasn't in it. And I'm sure everyone could tell I wasn't in it. But at the end of the day, I was like, no, I have to keep going. Have to keep promoting. I have to keep talking about it. I had my charity streams throughout the month too. And so I thankfully kept talking about it. And I think just the power of the community, both my Twitch community, the Primos community, just all the different communities. And then of course, like I had, Anthony Wheeler, who's another artist on Twitch, he was able to like bring me onto the show, and we just had fun and promoted it, and I don't know, it was just it was like the day before we hit the goal, and I was going to bed, and I'm like, we might not make the goal. That is definitely a possibility. This probably isn't going to get made, but the fact that there's 45 people who backed it, that's saying, like, I have 45 people who support
Really
me.
believe in you.
Yeah, who truly believe it's something that I made. And it wasn't just like the lower half. It was like we were already like almost there. So it's like, if this doesn't get made, what's to say that the community won't be there to support me on future projects? Like I've got Princesa Taco coming up. I'm finishing up, or not finishing up, I'm starting my next book project this month, illustrating it. Like, and this community, all the people who have been around this project pledging and supporting and sharing, even the ones who couldn't pledge, I see the shared posts. I see y'all. I wouldn't be where I'm at right now without that support. So no matter what had happened, I'm like, I've got a good community and support system in my creative journey. So no matter what happens, I need to be okay with that. And then we hit the goal the next day, and I was like, oh my God. It's funny. I was out with friends celebrating one of my friends' birthdays, and I told myself I'm not looking at it all day because I want this to be her birthday. But I had my phone turned up as we were playing a game, and the little email came in, you reached your goal. And I looked down, I'm like, oh my God. And they're like, what? I'm like, nothing. No, nothing. And they're like, no. And we all took shots. It was awesome.
I remember when mine hit my goal, my thing was like, it didn't feel real at first. I was like,
yeah,
I'm going to check this later to confirm. Like, I just couldn't.
It was just because it was so, sorry. I have a sinus infection. I'm so sorry, y'all.
Yeah, you should be sorry. How dare you have a sinus infection?
I'm so sorry. But no, it was so close, and I'm like, it's probably not going to happen. I'm just going to not look at it. There's no way. I've done the marketing I could,
I mean, you didn't do all the marketing, because I say you should wear a sushi costume and go out in public and record video.
I will admit, the one thing that there's more that I could have done. And I definitely hate that I took a week away from online, like, of the election to just, like, lose heart. I feel like if I did it, it would have been so much more feral, for sure.
That or the banana costume would have, like, made it happen, like, immediately.
I put the banana costume on stream because I was like, listen, yeah.
That's the way to do it. But
That's
congratulations, Ellie. Like, I was obsessed. I kept looking at it every other day, like, oh, come on, let me see where it's at. It's at. I kept looking at it too. Me and my wife were like, oh man, it's happening. And then
I know.
when I saw it happen, I was like, yes, this is awesome. So I'm definitely excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it getting really close, and I'm like, you know what? Elliot doesn't have a presence on Facebook. I'm going to reach out to Facebook people. And I was like, everybody in Facebook,
I
please come.
appreciate that. Yeah,
You
Ray
went the
was
old
like,
school
"Oh, I
way.
could share it on Facebook for you." I'm like, "Bro," because I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not on Facebook." But no, everyone who pledged, everyone who shared, thank y'all. I'm excited to get the project in production. I'm finishing typesetting this week. Hopefully, should get the funds next week, and I'm ready to throw these books at y'all.
Throw them this way, throw them this
Throw 'em.
way.
I'm gonna throw 'em,
But
make y'all read.
speaking of throwing things, all right, like throwing books at people, or launching or throwing bodies at people, Mr. John Avina, you have a Kickstarter that's going on right now. That's
I thought you were about to
you were
say that
throwing
John
some
Avinia
pictures
throws
around.
bodies at people.
He
Well,
does well.
One time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
See,
Bodies
that,
at the
Yeah.
you know
floor. Isn't that
what?
the song? Let the bodies.
You know,
at the
somebody.
But that Graham-
You know what?
Whoa, John. Well, you're back. You're here to promote a new project. Tell us about the new Kickstarter that's going on right now. It's live. Tell us about it.
Sure. So it's called Bombshelly and the Atomic, and I actually have a co-writer on this one. So I wrote it with real-life wrestler Shelly Benson, and we used her wrestling persona as a comic book character. So it's kind of like a Harley Quinn meets Green Lantern like vibe to it. So she's really like chaotic and like swears like a sailor, but her tattoos are all Disney princesses, like in real life. So it's
Cool.
definitely fun, and she's got like a really big like persona and energy to her. And we got talking about like what kind of book she'd want to make, and I was like, oh, like this fun kind of like superhero-esque thing, but it's like instead of protecting like your wrestling belt, you're protecting like your energy, and she really liked that. So,
Interesting. Cool. What's it
Yeah.
called
I'm
again?
so ready.
Bombshelly and the Atomic.
And I'm looking through it right now, and it looks really good.
Yeah,
Dude,
she's like a
looks
model
fun.
and stuff too. So she was like, what if we use like photo variants? And I was like, that's on you. I was like, if
Those
you
are
wanna do it-
always fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny because a lot of times it's like a cosplay photo variant. In this case, it's just the person.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she is the person, so she was like,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll do it. And her friend had taken all the photos of her and stuff already, so she was like, we can use these, and then we'll credit the photographer and everything too. So
No, it's exciting. It's live right now on Kickstarter.
Mhm.
And
Yes.
and John, like, is this part of? And I don't want to say, is this part of the Luchaverse that Avinia Comics works in, or is something separate?
It's something separate, and it might turn into something a little bit more because there have been a few of like people in her wrestling circle who have reached out about
Ooh.
possibly doing books. So this might be like a subsidiary of like Abina Comics where we like take wrestlers and we try to like help them promote themselves by turning them into characters and doing like our own pocket universe of these guys.
Yo, that'd be
So
Dude,
it'll give
that
me
is
a chance to
awesome.
help produce comics and not just like write them myself, so I can help other people find their writing voice. And then
If anybody
turn
can do that, is John Avinia.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Yeah.
serious because it's like you're one of those. I've met a few people in my life who do something for like a year and are like, that's who they are and they're good at it. I met somebody once who was a teacher for 1 year, and she gave me the impression of somebody who's been doing this for decades and knows exactly what she's doing. And that's how I feel like with you, man. Like you come into this industry really and just naturally learn to fly.
yeah,
Hey man,
I'm
I just like your
trying.
books because you know how to write a good story, man. I love your books. I'm a fan. I really enjoy them, and I'm glad that you're able to do projects like this because it shows you that you can flex and you're liquid, man. You can move around. You can dance in other universes, if you will. You know, dabble in
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
So you don't have to just rely on your stuff, which is great. But you can also show, hey, you know what? I got legs. I can make something happen on this over here. So I'm excited for that. So definitely, Primos, we want to support Primo John and Avinia Comics, and definitely check them out. We'll put on our stuff. We'll put the socials. I'll put like cool thing here on screen right here.
I literally just
Yeah.
Googled Avinia Comics Kickstarter. And the very first thing that popped up was Bombshelly. So it
Cool.
worked out.
There you go.
Yeah.
Avinia Comics Kickstarter. Avinia Comics Kickstarter. But it's great that we get to create these things and we get to talk like this show here, right? We get to enjoy this show. We do this show. To be fair, last season we had more episodes. I'm just gonna say it's on me.
No, it's
But
not.
it's
No, no,
fair
no.
enough.
Fault. It is all Freddy's.
You know what? No, Elia, I know you're always trying to blame Freddie, but
Cheeseman time.
I
Cheeseman time.
personally will not blame Freddie because no, we are all people. We all live lives, and honestly, we pitch hit for each other whenever we can, and sometimes we just all need to take a quick relaxer, and
I'm
that's
just
totally
gonna
cool.
say, someone had to go to London randomly,
Okay,
and we couldn't
fine,
do an episode.
fine. Yeah, I was across the pond last week, as they say. It surprised me how many people I met didn't know what across the pond mean. You're
Really?
in Austin, but still, I figured while I was over there, I would get engaged, so I did. So there's that.
You got engaged?
Yeah, there's that. There's that.
Congratulations, dude!
Congrats.
Wow, congratulations! You can't just do that.
I was honestly thinking to myself, did I tell them in the chat? No, I don't think I
No.
did.
No,
I'm gonna go
wow.
scream at Alexis on Twitter later. Oh my god.
Was it like a super cool like in front of like London Bridge or something? I don't know. Like,
Yeah, tell us
what
a
was
story.
it?
We have to
Tell us
have
a
the
story,
Okay,
Kevin.
inside look.
All right. Well, I don't really have a story for that, except that I kept looking around at all these like big touristy places that might be a good spot to do it, and I was like, no, none of these. It's just too crowded. So eventually, I asked somebody from London, "Hey, where's the quietest place you know that's nice?" And he's like, "There's this park nobody goes to." So we went to this really quiet park, and it was really nice. But I do have some stories. We accidentally ended up in the
You're
House of Lords.
engaged. Hold on.
Yeah.
Stop. You're
No, he's
engaged.
like,
Well, no,
John
this
is
is
a
a-
wedding videographer, so John's gonna come down for the wedding. John, give him a good rate.
No.
Don't be a punk. Give him primo prices.
Okay. She's in the other room and she can hear me podcasting and she's texting right now. This is so cute. I can hear you guys talking about it.
You should have her on the show, man. I told you about that.
I've been telling her that too. She's got really great opinions. I really would love to get her on.
No, yeah, definitely want her on. But John, give them primo prices. Come on down, okay?
He's like, for you,
Me and
it'll only
Elia
be
can
one arm,
like,
no
do the
leg
wedding.
needed.
I was like, you just invite me and I'll bring my camera stuff.
Let's
Do
go.
it.
Make it happen, Kevin.
But no, I'm saying like the two of us had some adventures in London, mostly getting lost. Like we accidentally ended up in the House of Lords, which is the equivalent of Senate. Basically, we get off the bus and we're right next to Big Ben, and we're like, cool, maybe there's a way in. Probably isn't, but why not? We walk around the building, and I see this line of people getting in. So, all right, let's get in that line. Get in the line. We get to the end of it. They give us a lanyard. Okay, cool. We walk in the building. I'm like, this is not Big Ben. This is Parliament, but cool. Let's walk around. So we walk around. We see, like, we ask me, hey, where should we go? And they, oh, that way is the House of Lords. Oh, okay. Walk into it. I'm like, this is definitely the House of Lords. Interesting. And I look at her, you want to go see the House of Commons? Let's go do that. So we turn around and go to the other side, and this big officer standing there. He's like, hello there. You're supposed to be here. And I was like, I don't know. I was over there a minute ago. You're not. Okay, cool. So I look at her, I'm like, we're just surrounded by a bunch of symbols of colonizers. We can just take off now.
Yeah.
No, seriously, there's like paintings all over the walls. They're just like bow before us, So we walk out, and this lady takes our lanyards, and she's like, wait, you didn't have the other passes, the tours? I'm like, no, was there one? We're good. Apparently, we just snuck in with somebody else by accident. It was not intentional. And then there was the time that we accidentally ended up in another city. I travel a lot, and I thought I understood big city, like public transit. London was more confusing to me than Tokyo. So we get there. I buy a 7-day pass, which I think is for bus and train or underground or whatever. And then we do the map. We want to go to Brighton because a friend of hers is having a concert in Brighton. And we were going to, so it says, all right, get on the thing. So we go to get on the thing and scan it. Doesn't work. The guy's like, let me see your card. No, there's no money in that card. We just, fine, whatever. We put money in the card and then we go scan in. And then, okay, the instructions say go from the underground to this rail. Okay, we get on the rail.
Why is Benny Hill music playing in my head?
It really is.
Like,
so then we get out at Brighton Beach, and they won't let us leave the train station. And I'm like, why can't we get out? They're like, go talk to this lady. So we go talk to the lady, and she's looking at us, and she's like, how did you get here? And I'm like, I don't know. We followed the instructions and the arrows, and they told us to get on the train. You were supposed to have a ticket. I'm like, we stowed away on a train, I guess.
American.
Wow.
Look,
Americans.
Another time, this is the last one. Another time, we're having all these issues with the buses, right? But the weirdest one on the buses was, we're like, okay, we figured it out this time. That's the right bus stop. That's the right bus number. It's going the right direction. It's 20 stops to our next location. We're going to be fine. We get on the bus, 3 stops in. Last stop, everybody off. We're like, what? No, it's 20 stops. This is around the corner. Last stop, you have to get out. And I get up there. I'm like, but we're trying to get here. He looks at that. He goes, you need to be on the other side, not here. You need to be the other side of the street. We're like, fine. We go to the other side of the street, wait at the bus stop. Bus arrives. Same bus, same driver.
It's hilarious.
And he looks at us like I don't know.
I would have a full blown meltdown.
No.
Like, you're an asshole. Does that translate? Huh?
I mean, I just don't speak the language.
Sixes and sevens,
You know,
all that.
what I told my partner is, or my fiance, what I told her is, they invented bureaucracy over here.
Fiance.
That's why they're so good at it.
Yeah, bureaucracy gets in the way. Look at you. You got engaged. You. I don't know.
I don't have a
Gold,
successful Kickstarter right
flustered.
now that I'm working on. I
You
am.
had one.
I did, and I'm
You
working on
had
the script.
one.
I'm working on the script for the next issue. So there's that.
I still need to do your the unboxing for.
I don't do the cool packing videos that some people do.
Hey, I need more Emily packing stuff. By the way,
More
I mean that's more
Emily.
fun than
It'll go
watching
right
you.
to her head. I can't have her on camera.
No, bring
Because
her
then she's
back.
like, people like me in the comments. I'm like,
It's true.
It's true.
I'm gonna go and
It's
comment
true.
on every single one. Bring back
she just slipped me
Emily.
off.
Hashtag team.
That's what
Emily,
makes her
I'm telling you,
cool.
man.
That's what makes her cool.
She doesn't need to do anything. That was enough. I felt
Yeah.
that here.
Honestly,
Everyone's like-
you could just be packing, and she could just lean in like this, and then lean back out again.
Yeah.
Everybody like, we love this video so much more.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, oh, she's so chill. I'm like, no, she's disassociating.
Well, I mean, to be fair, when I have to deal with mail, that's what I'm doing.
Oh, there you go. You know what? We need to make the Wham Stand guy make an Emily plaque and just have it here
Yeah.
behind you.
You know, I heard about those Wham stands on this TikTok channel. I think it was called Avenia
Wham
Comics,
Stand.
and it looked
Wham
really
stands.
cool.
Yeah.
The
They,
Wham Stands,
yeah.
man. I'm excited.
Hashtag
Okay,
not sponsored.
Awesome.
But
Yet.
all the stuff I've seen from that is awesome, and Freddie he
Yeah.
vouches for it too. So
Yeah, he's like my unofficial partner and everything too, because I'll just have like a stupid idea. I'm like, what if we did this? He was like, let me figure it out. And then he
It's
comes
like-
back
Yo.
like 10 minutes later. He's like, we did it.
you want me to make
I
an
want a
axe that
belt
does
buckle.
what now?
I want a belt that I can.
I do have an axe.
Yep, I know. That's what I said. I don't remember what it does, but I remember it does
I
something.
saw it and oh my god, I was screaming. I know it was in your chat, but I was like, oh, I
I
need
know, he
it.
does. It's cool. I have my,
So
I
he,
have my
he
dagger
made
in
that
here.
axe too?
Yeah, you got the dagger,
The
right?
Wham
The one with
Stand
the.
guy?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I need to.
Now I just need a D&D game to play.
Well,
Right?
we have players right here.
Yeah, where's?
Ah, look at that
Oh, I have all
wham
my D&D
standy
stuff
stuff.
packed
I
away,
stand
too.
that wham stand.
Yeah.
No, man, I enjoy the Wham Stand stuff, and
Mm.
he's super cool too. By the way, like I'm sorry because I don't speak your name, but if you're listening, thank you, man. You were dope. You were fun to talk to. He was really, really cool, and like really helps you create your stuff and your vision. So if you're looking for stuff like this, more stands, sort of magnetic. I was thinking about getting a belt made, man, like with like a belt buckle that I can like change
Yo.
them. That'd be cool.
Oh, he did. He did one for Yorona. I have a belt buckle.
Yeah,
Yo, I
great
need
minds,
to get him
man.
to
great
make
minds.
little conchas for my buns.
Yeah,
Yeah, he does
Pop 'em up.
pins. He does pins too. So like,
Okay, well,
those are the stupid ideas I had. I was just like, hey, the Yorona
Stupid,
character
man.
needs a belt
genius.
buckle for the cosplay.
They're
I was like,
genius.
can we make it? And he was like, yeah, I can make it. So then I was like, make two.
yo, all right,
Me too.
well, yo, homeboy, I'm about to hit you up with some more projects. So let's go.
Hit him up. Hit him
Just
up.
tell
Hit him up.
everyone John sent me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone uses
John
John
sent me.
Avina's name.
Well, you know what? We're gonna need to brand it better because that's we're gonna say Avenia sent me.
There you go.
It's true.
Yeah.
Lavinia sent me.
Then my uncle's gonna
Lavinia
slide
sent
in and take credit and be like, yo,
I know.
Sure, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful, guys. One sec. Gotta plug this thing in. I got unplugged.
We've
Okay.
been plugging Wham Stand this whole time. What are you talking about?
this is the second time, like the second podcast I've done where it turned into like a spokes thing for him. Because people like now that because they've seen my videos of it and they're like,
Yeah.
oh, I really like it, so I ordered this and this because I saw it on your video. I was like,
At,
oh, cool.
at this rate, he doesn't even need to pay for advertising. He just needs to have you. He can
Hey,
just
just
make you free
let's make a
stuff and
deal.
it's
Make me,
advertising.
make me some cool
that's what
shit,
he did.
man, and I'll talk about your stuff. You know?
He
No,
made me that
that's
Star
literally
Brock
me.
spinner, and he just sent it to me, and then he made me a rotating head for Lucha Forever that just sits on a thing and spins, and I'm like,
That's so cool.
That's cool,
it's
man.
like, thank you.
Well, guys, we're gonna take a quick little break. We're gonna jump right into some more Sin Color. Check out Sin Color at Sin Color Music, and here's Limonada.
Emociones trágicas que vuelven el corazón, que hacen que todo sea más
Whoa, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that. You know what? I want to give a big shout out. We're into the season here to Sin Color. She is a fellow Salvadorian creator. She has been so kind to just let us use her music. So I definitely want you guys to go and check out Sin Color Music. She has a great voice. She's gonna do like a Christmas like live stream, singing some like old classic tunes as well. So check her
Seems like
out.
the right time of year to do one of those.
Cool.
At this time of year, because one of the things we've done, at least in the last one time we've done this before, is talk about Spotify Rap that came out just this week. And it's always
Yeah.
been fun to kind of poke and see what our top songs are, or top artists, the things that you don't really realize you do, and then how sad it is that they've collected so much data about you,
Right.
and the AI just knows too much about you, and here we are talking about it. We've been embraced by the technology. We've embraced the technology, engulfed by the AI. You know
You
what I
know,
mean?
you say the AI. I feel like they didn't put as much effort into the design as they had the past years. I felt like it was just the same little triangular thing coming back and forth, as opposed to, I don't know, variety before. But that's about it.
It was
Yeah.
kind of but you did get a couple more details. Like for example, like for me, it said I did like. I'll do the likes and didn't not likes, dislikes. I enjoyed the fact that it told me my journey through the year. Like, hey, in
Yeah,
January you were into
yeah.
that was
this,
fun.
and then by October you were into this, and I was like, oh, okay, that's actually fits.
I
Yeah,
like
I
that
was
it
into
made a
that
point
music.
of telling me that I'm in the 0.01 of Beatles
Yeah.
fans, and I was like, was that necessary? Like
Right.
was
It's
that
like
necessary at that
you
point?
are the only person listening to.
You're the only person listening to the Beatles right now.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Yeah, my top hits are just pretty much what was expected, like Bohemian Rhapsody. I have a playlist that is kind of long, and the only song I have on there twice is Bohemian Rhapsody. So, it makes sense.
It's a bop.
And then we got Bowie and that
there.
kind of stuff. Let's see, how long is my playlist? It is 115 hours and 34 minutes long,
Jesus.
and it's got a couple songs on it.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's random songs to write by. So if you want to, follow it along. But
Yeah,
but the
that's
but the
good.
point is that like, yeah, I got that. The thing is, my students every year they're like, show us your rap. We want to see what you're listening to. They're so excited, and I'm like, cool. So the past couple of years, I would actually project it on the screen so they could see it. I'm like, I'm nothing to hide there. I know what's going to be on there. And this year, they would not let me open it on a browser. I even have the Spotify downloaded, the app downloaded, wouldn't let me open
Yeah.
it. I even emailed it from myself. It said share with somebody. I sent the link, and it would not. When I clicked it, it said download it on your phone, and I'm like, then what was the sharing for? Like,
What happens when you lay off 50,000 people?
exactly.
Dang.
You know what it is with I don't know what it is about Spotify Rap. It becomes a communal thing, right? Because
Yeah.
that's what it is, a communal thing where everybody, at least to an extent, even if you don't use it as much anymore or whatnot, but like you still have a hand in that. Hey, you know what? Here's mine. Here's my Spotify Rap or whatnot,
Mhm.
and it's
You
fun.
can't hide your
And
shame.
Yeah.
okay, John, what's you know what? Here's mine. Last
Go
year I
for it.
talked about Lola Young. She was my number one like thing because that's what I heard. I heard Lola Young like crazy. That's who I heard, like tons of Lola Young. Mine were top artists: Lola Young, The Sacred Souls, still because that's what I've been listening to all year. Jungle, duh.
Jungle.
Eminem and Kali Uchis. Like that's that. Yeah,
Yo.
that fits
Okay.
me. Like
Okay,
that's a vibe.
I have a secret shame. It said my top podcasts. My Primos got knocked out by Night Vale, and I'm like, oh,
Oh, okay, but it's night.
it is Welcome to Night Vale, but I'm like,
Yeah.
it hurts me.
My wife's top podcast was the Trevor Noah podcast. So I was okay. I like
Nice.
it.
Dang.
So I'm okay. I'm number two. I'm number two.
We need to have him on us, and then that'll work. Wait, that
Exactly,
sounded weird.
exactly. What about you? Ooh,
What?
Pitbull?
I didn't know you liked Pitbull.
Oh my god.
Behind you.
Yo.
He's right there.
Top .005. Look
Why?
at that.
Why are they saying that? Why do they even put that in there?
Don't be obsessive, Spotify.
Where's my
Like if it was at least a single digit, we'd be all right. But why are you giving us percentages of a digit?
So like just tell me I'm obsessed and stupid. My God.
No, but you
so
were like you
Pitbull-
beat me in hours of music or minutes of music. How many did you do? Like 35,000?
Yeah, 35,980. Because I
did
that's
like
all I
20
do
something.
at work. My top 5 were Pitbull was number 1, Jungle
Really?
number 2. Yeah, surprise.
Surprise.
Young Bay number 3, Saib, who does the lo-fi music for my stream, and then Caravan Palace number 5. And they came out with a new album this year that I found out about in like September, and then I couldn't stop listening to it. If they had done the stats for the last like 2 weeks of November, Wicked would have knocked the whole damn list out.
Yeah.
Wicked. What about you, John? What about music? Because you know what? I did make a playlist for John, by the way. Did you guys
You
know
did.
that?
Yo, I didn't know that.
And it's a
What's
solid
it
one.
called, John? What's it called?
Music to it's like catch John up.
Let me see here. It
Yeah.
is called like bringing John up to speed or something like
Yeah.
that. That's what it is.
Part 1.
So part 1,
Yeah.
part 1, because part 2's coming. But
That's how I got the like Lola Young stuff was from you.
yeah, dude. I'm telling you, I saw her live, and I am telling people they don't believe me. I have this. I told you guys last time. I have a chip on my shoulder when I present people music or anything. Like, hey, you gotta check this out. It's good. Yeah, sure. And then like 6 months later, like, oh my god, it's so amazing. Why did you tell me?
Yeah.
Like, I fucking told you already. I told you. Listen to the show. And I'm
Yeah.
telling you, like, listen to her. Like, it's fucking
Yeah.
good. It's just good. Trust me, it's good. It's a Reese's peanut butter cup. It's just good. It's just good. Just enjoy it. Don't question it. What about you, John? What was your rap?
So the first few made sense. It was this band called the Wonder Years that I really liked. They're like an emo band, but they're number 1 and they have been for like 4 years.
Okay.
Vicente Fernandez was number 2.
Yo.
I was in a mood for a while, so it was that one.
Yo.
Noah Khan, and I was like, again,
Okay.
it fits. I was like depressed, right? Number 4 was Monica Naranja because I was writing a lot of Llorona throughout the year, and since it's set in the 90s, I was like, oh, this song. So it was her for that. And then the 5th one, I don't know how it got on here. Not Luke Bryan, Luke something. It's like this Zach Bryan. It's this country singer.
Right,
Thank you,
okay.
Emily. That's why we need her like always hovering.
See, we need
See?
Emily.
We need
Always.
Emily.
Everybody needs an Emily in their life.
Everybody, you know?
Yeah, but that one came on, and I was like, I don't understand. But he wrote a funeral song, so I think that's where it came in from me.
That kind of
and
makes
stuff,
sense.
So,
John,
yeah,
you know,
but
you mentioned Chente, right? You were in a mood.
yeah,
I had a whole moment of clarity the other day, like a week ago. I was listening to his music, and out of nowhere, I don't know how I came upon it. I opened up the playlist, and it said this genre of music opened up: Mexican Doomer. There's an actual genre called Mexican Doomer.
Doomer.
That sounds like a good genre, to be fair.
It's literally filled with like drunk, depressed, like Mexican. Here it is, Mexican Doomer. I'm not even kidding.
Wait. Is this just
there's
corridos or what?
No,
Yeah.
like it's like if I can focus it, like it's literally like Mexican Doomer. I don't know if I can focus it enough, but
Oh my god.
it's just look at this. It's Julio Jaramillo, just pure ballads that are depressing. Pedro Infante, Jose Jose, Richie Valens, We Belong Together. Okay.
Yeah.
Cama y Mesa, Roberto Carlos. It's like all these Mexican Latino
Richie.
singers depressed, like
Dude,
just like okay,
I didn't know I was a genre.
you were a
Yo.
Mexican Doomer.
No, catch me drunk and sad and alone listening to Cien Años. I'm like crying.
Yep.
We
Like,
went
Look,
to
here.
a tiki bar with a writer friend, and it was like me, Emily, him, and his buddy. And he was like, "We got to get tequila. We got to do this." And I was like, "Oh, I can't." I was like, "I will just talk Spanish the moment it hits my soul." And Emily, without missing a beat, looked at my buddy, and she was like, "No, he's not joking."
Yeah.
Like it gets really like he will just play mariachi music for the next like 8 hours, and I was like,
bro.
I can't do tequila.
To be fair, that's not a bad thing. Not the tequila necessarily,
It's
but
not.
the mariachi music for the next,
But I could feel it. Like it must be what a werewolf transformation feels like.
Whoa.
Because like it like creeps up on me. Like my stomach gets warm, and then I just look at Emily and she's like, "Oh, it's happening." I was like, "Oh, it's happening."
Whoa,
I'm
it's
turning
happening.
ranchero. Let's go.
I just
You know
start
what I
sounding
found?
like all my uncles.
Yeah.
I found
You just become a
like
singer.
young like 25-year-old Mexican doomer artists that are doing this, like new variations of
Good.
that vibe, and they're young
Yeah.
dudes, man, like that are just doing this music, and I'm vibing with it. Like, oh shit, like this, the origins were the old school, and now we're here, and these guys like this year released a record, and it's on the Mexican Doomer thing. I'm not kidding. If you Spotify
Yeah.
search Mexican Doomer,
There's a really good band called McCharmleys, but they're
yes,
like
McCharmley's talked about them before.
Yeah, they're
Yes.
really cool, and they got like that '60s vibe. I wrote the Devil in the Review to that for like a while. I
Yeah.
was like,
I like
The
it.
This is it.
McCharmleys are dope. They're really, really cool. You
Yeah.
know, like it's fun that we can share music, right? And we can
Yeah.
kind of do it. But one thing I don't like is the X guy, the DJ X on your Spotify. He's an AI DJ voice
Yeah.
Oh,
that he jumps up and goes, "Hey, I'm DJ X. You've been listening to me for 1,085 hours." My wife
oh no.
goes like,
I am
"Why? What
thankful
is
I've not
that?"
gotten that yet. Oh
Me
my god.
too.
Yeah, it's there.
I still can't believe like Google, for example, has AI podcasters now, and it's just like, why do we need that?
Dude,
What?
there is a podcast on Spotify of your rap. There is fake people that they literally play like, "Oh, hey, we're gonna go over your
Tired.
Spotify. Oh, look at that. Wow, interesting. You've been interested." Like they literally made a podcast out of your rap. I'm not kidding. Like I was like, "What?"
Look,
That's a
they're
bummer.
we always talk about this idea that we want technology to help make our lives easier, and it's literally removing the creation from it. There's this company called Artisan in California that literally their ads, like this is one of their ads. Artisans won't complain about a work-life balance. And it's
Yeah.
like
What?
artisans are eager to work 70 plus hours a week. And another one
No
literally
time.
says, don't hire humans anymore. And I'm like, wow, this is an actual company. And I saw these memes of it. I didn't want to believe it. I looked it up. It is a real company, and that is how they're advertising. Oh my gosh.
It's like
Here
that
we are, guys.
Coca-Cola commercial.
Oh
Did you
my
see
god.
that? The AI one?
No.
Wait, was
Even
it
the AI
Coca-Cola? I
Coca-Cola.
saw an AI commercial for something. Was it Coca-Cola?
Yeah, it was
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola. It looks like garbage. Like it's so
It made me
generic.
so happy to be a Dr. Pepper girl. I was like,
But to me though, it's not even about the quality because yeah, let's not lie to ourselves. Eventually, the quality is going to get better. The issue is not the quality; it's the existence.
yeah, the
Because
ethicality of
yeah, yes,
creating
it's stolen art, stolen voices,
Yeah.
stolen words, but it's also stealing potential art, potential voices,
Mhm.
potential words.
Ooh, I didn't
You
think
know,
about that.
Yeah.
that to me is like that's the long term pitfall of this. So the short term, yeah, these artists have been screwed over. Long term, future artists won't exist.
Well, isn't that the fear, right? That they're just recycling beats and then using algorithms to make random sounds and voices and that sound like people we like, and
Yeah.
that ends up being the music.
But see, but here's the thing though. Like I've heard the argument that people say, like, oh well, people were scared of VHS when it first came out. Sure enough, the movie studios tried to sue to stop VCRs from existing, and that didn't end movies. But the difference here is that it's going to get to a point where somebody could just type in, I want to do a movie where Superman meets Captain Kirk and they fight Godzilla, and it gets made for them. And they don't need to go to a movie. We don't need actors. We don't need writers. We don't
Yeah.
need directors. We don't need anything. In fact, the studios are like, cool, but no, they're not going to get money either.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
AI. Look at that. How we got from fun, go lucky
It's
to
my
now
fault, man.
AI.
I
I'm
make it.
depressed now.
But that Spotify AI thing that the DJ, it's
Mhm.
terrible too. Like it was doing like, oh, we're gonna do like fun emo throwbacks, and then right in the middle of it's like Heartbreak Country, and I was like, I know these are genres that I have,
Like,
but they don't
See, but
jump into each other
that's
like
where
this.
the Google podcast scares me more because I've heard it and it sounds like a real two people podcast talking about
Dude, I'm trying to
whatever
find
topic
it.
you
Like, I'm not
ask them
even.
to do
I
it.
apologize to people watching. I'm literally trying to find it because I was like, "What is this?" And it said, "Oh, here's your rap in podcast form."
Oh God, I have not
And I
seen
was
that
like,
one,
"What?"
thankfully.
And it's literally your own Spotify, and it says it's just two. It's a guy and a girl, a robot, and they're like, "All right, let's go through your 2024." And they're like, "Oh yeah, exciting!" Like they even do the like. They're
I
like, "Ooh, like."
see.
Oh, you
Your
found
rap
it?
AI podcast.
Try,
Yeah.
watch. Just push play. It's creepy. Watch. Put it to the mic.
Oh God, here it is. Yep, it is Google. Elia, call you by name. They did try. Damn, that sucks.
That's insane.
They literally go to the 5 minute like, yeah, if you want your rap to be spoken to you like a it's like I don't know,
Yeah.
it just got me weird. I was like, I don't
But
like
like,
this.
why? I didn't ask, you know?
And that is the Google voice I was talking about. That's the two person Google podcast. They even say it. That's just
Jeez.
Speaking
So-
of pod, no, but you know what? Like moving past Spotify, I know we'll bring it up here and there. We're all fans of music in our own genres, our own corners of the verse there. But one thing that we wanted to talk about here, of course, that we enjoy talking about are things that we've consumed, like movies, TV, books, and kind of to get to the point here is that you guys Elia and John, you got to see Wicked. I haven't seen it yet. I want to know your thoughts, your feeling. Well, Elia's feelings. Look at her. She's
Too many
literally
feelings.
the sinus infection's gone.
You know what? I feel like Elliot, if you tell us your thoughts on it, you're going to be popular.
Yeah. Is that a reference that I'm not getting now?
I'm assuming.
It's a song.
Okay,
It's a
good.
song.
All right. I was actually worried for a second that
Yeah.
I was a different reference and I was going to miss
It's
it.
actually like one of my favorite songs. No, like so
It's-
for those who don't know, Wicked is a movie that came out last month, based off the Broadway musical Wicked,
Which is based off a book.
off the book,
Which is
was
inspired
based
by-
off of The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
It's just a whole line of titles inspired by. But the stage show debuted in like 2002, and the movie was like picked up at the same time as a Broadway musical, and they were originally going to make it a movie first, but then they were like, oh, never mind. Steven Schwartz is like, I got the music done. Yeehaw. They made the musical. And then they picked up the movie, and the movie like was in pre-production for like 15 years before they finally were like, all right, we're ready to film. But no, and the thing about the movie is they're breaking it up into two parts. Like on stage, you get to watch the whole damn thing in one go. With the movies, they're taking their time
Wait.
with everything.
So, wait, this is Wicked Part 1? I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is
Wow.
Wicked Part 1.
Yeah, you know, I'm
Yeah.
actually glad you told me that because if I got to the theater thinking I'm seeing Wicked and then at the end of it I'm like, wait, what?
You're like, all right, it's intermission.
Am I gonna
'Cause
be
I had-
like where like my wife's like wants to rewatch the whole series every like year? She's gonna want
Yeah.
to watch the Wicked series.
Yeah.
I'm your wife in that because I watch Twilight every year.
Look, you watch Wizard of Oz on
Twilight,
Thanksgiving
yeah.
and then the next week you watch Wicked.
Yeah, so I've only seen the movie once. Where hopefully, if I'm feeling better, going to see it again this weekend.
If
like,
you
and
will
I
feel
don't-
better.
I hope, yeah. But like,
How many times have you
I
seen this
don't-
movie?
Huh?
Once, she
How
said.
many times
But
have
she
you seen
will
it?
see it more.
I've only seen it once. I've only seen
Okay.
it once so far. And like that's the thing. Going to the movies is so expensive that I barely go at all. I'm
This
going
is
to
true.
see it again, and I would probably go see it a third time. That's how much I loved it. Like the musical itself. Like, I mean, I was a theater kid. I loved Wicked. And I've had the privilege of being able to see the live show. My mom took me when it went to Austin
Nice.
for the tour, and no, I loved it. And so when I heard it was being made into a movie, I was like, oh man, hell yeah. And like this was when they first announced it when I was in college, so in like 2010. And so like 14 years later, yeah, I'm glad it's here, and it's amazing. As someone
Yeah.
who's seen the stage show, I like the movie better.
Me too.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So I saw the
Hot take.
play when it was in Chicago,
Nice.
and I didn't really care for it. I remember because Glee had done an episode of it, but I
Yeah.
saw that right before I saw the theater one, and I was like, it's not great. And then the movie was like coming out, and I was like, all right, well, like we'll see it. Love it. Like I like the songs, like the Kristen Chenoweth version and all that stuff, the original. I listen to that a lot. But then we saw the one in Chicago, and I was like, I don't know, maybe I was just like in a bad mood going into it, but I didn't love when I saw it live. But the movie, like getting to actually hang out in that world a little bit was just fun. Like every moment mattered, and like you just couldn't help but smile throughout all of it. And I was like, this is great. Like this is awesome. This is the space right now. It's not negative space. It's the room I'm holding for Defying Gravity still. So it's just right.
Are you
Whoa.
holding space?
I'm holding space for it.
No, and like what's really cool what's really cool is like this movie built their sets.
Yeah.
They like it's the train, the whole train that was built. It's not like green screen. They built it. The
That's
tulips.
awesome. I love
they
that,
planted
man.
every single damn tulip. Like I've been.
So you're saying I should go see this soon?
You need to go watch it like right now.
That's fair.
Once we hit cut, go straight to the theater.
We were gonna watch it, but we got sidetracked with Gladiator
Saw
and
that.
Yeah.
Gladiator, and we watched something else. I forget. It was very forgettable, I guess. But Gladiator. Me and my kid and wifey, we have the
Yeah.
membership. We get like tickets every month. Like we go to the movies. Like we
Was it-
go to the movies a lot.
Is it worth it?
Yeah.
Because honestly, when I heard that, because they've been wanting to do a Gladiator 2 since the first one was successful, but
Yeah.
like it doesn't lend itself to a sequel.
So me and John had a conversation, okay, about this. We'll bring it up here. But here's my initial thought: Gladiator 2. Gladiator 1 kicks ass. Gladiator 2
Yeah.
is okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
Hey,
Gladiator 2 is okay.
That's understandable. It's pretty normal for a lot of
No,
sequels. Not all
I
sequels.
love
but-
the first one.
No, but
Yeah.
My
Go ahead, John. Tell them what we discussed, because what's your
Yeah.
take
Yeah.
take on is Gladiator
Well,
2?
a funny story. My dad loves Gladiator so much he named my little brother Maximus.
Nice.
So like, because he was born around that time, so his name is
Yeah.
Maximus Decimus Diaz. And I was
Dang,
like, oh,
that went hard. That went hard.
yeah. I was like,
name.
that was terrible. I was like, I like Lion King. Ben's name isn't Simba. Like, we all got to breathe.
Why is his name not Benjamin Simba?
Is he a
Avina.
rapper?
He likes
Is
Spider-Man
your brother
enough,
a
right? What's his
rapper?
name?
Yeah, but it was
Yeah.
funny because Gladiator 2 was fun. It has a lot of like they're stretching little scenes from like the first one for the second one, but it's kind of like The Force Awakens where it's like, oh, we're doing it again.
Okay.
And but everyone in it is like gorgeous and awesome, so I can't even be mad. I'm just like, I don't know who this new guy is. He's all right. I was like, oh,
It's
Pedro
funny because my
Pascal?
wife's
Cool.
Pedro Pascal, he's in there, but my wife watched the first Gladiator again a couple nights ago, and I'm like, why is this so like? It sucks me in every time
Yeah.
we watch it, and then I go like, but the second one, I'm like, I don't need to see it. I don't feel the need to go see it. It's not bad at all. It's just I saw it on the big screen. I got to see my naval battle inside
Yeah.
the Coliseum, right?
Something
which
I've
is
always
dope.
wanted to see.
Yeah,
Yes.
gorgeous. Like, wow, that's so cool.
That's a real thing they
Yeah.
did.
And then
Yeah.
I wanted to see it. I was so infatuated with that, and I got to see it. Great, paid off. And I got to see Denzel be Denzel, but it wasn't like the Denzel that I wanted. John, I think we talked about it a little bit because it's
Yeah.
what do you say? How do we define it?
It's Denzel being Denzel, but in Rome.
Yeah, like it's not
Like,
even him playing a character that's Roman. It's like if
it's just
Denzel just
him.
woke up and went like, "All right, I'm Denzel. Here I
You
am."
know what?
He's just doing
Okay.
lines from Training Day, but I'm like, God, he's captivating.
There's a few actors that can
Yeah.
just do that, and we're like,
Yeah.
we'll go with it, you know?
Yeah, I was just
There's
like,
a scene
I
where he
like
runs
you
into a
enough.
guy and he goes like, "I own your house," and
Yeah,
I'm like, "Whoa!"
I'm gonna
Like,
die
okay,
laughing.
Denzel.
Oh, no.
yeah,
That's
and he's got like big earrings the whole time too. I'm just like, I love
Slay.
it. You came into set with those.
and he
The
walked in
one
there.
thing that did
And
take me out of it, there's one line where he is just like hose them down, and then Denzel walks away, and like I remember sitting there watching it, going like, did they have hoses?
I'm
Like I
like,
I
wanted
didn't
to
catch
put,
that.
like they sort of
Yeah.
had indoor plumbing sometimes, but not hoses.
right?
Hose
So
them
I
down.
have like so many questions. I was like, wait a minute.
It means throw the hose on top of the.
You know
Right.
what? They were going to start hitting them with gardening equipment.
My
The
God.
hose, the hose.
hose.
Ah, I got you. It's
Yeah.
They
fine.
hosed
It's
them till they were
fun.
down.
From what everybody tells me, like Wicked's the thing to go see on a big screen, so I'm gonna try to do that before it goes away.
Yeah, just
But
wait till
Gladiator was
Moana
fine.
leaves though, because they're taking up all the Dolby screens right
Well,
now.
actually, I'm actually annoyed because I had when I was in London, I got to see a couple musicals, and a friend of ours said, "Oh, you need to go see Wicked, but you need to see it on IMAX." So, like, as soon as I got back, we're going to see it on IMAX. It was only on IMAX in Austin for like 2 days in one theater
Yeah.
and 3 days in the other theater, and none of those days I was available. So I was like, "Well, I can't
Yeah.
see it on IMAX." But I did get to see some movies in the West End, which is movies. I did get to see some plays in the West End, which is pretty cool.
What you see?
The Devil Wears Prada
I get a Pet Shop
just
Boys reference. Anybody?
yeah.
No?
It just
No?
started about
Yeah.
a month or two ago, and I got to see one of the early performances with Vanessa Williams as the devil. It was really good. The music, it's a kind of story that lends itself well to a musical, so it was really good.
Yeah. Okay.
Now Alexis, she is very much into fashion and fashion history, so she was getting frustrated by the clothing, and I was like, "Why? It looks great." She goes, "But it's so dated because it takes place in 2006." So she could recognize that. To me, it just looks cool.
Yeah.
And then we saw Cabaret, and the thing is,
Cool.
both The Devil Wears Prada and Cabaret, I enjoyed the play versions more, so that's cool. I'd only watched Cabaret for the first time like a month ago, and then to see the play version, it was so much more affecting. It really really got to me. It was so
World.
intense.
Yeah. Yeah. That was the first show that we did like when I entered college as a freshman was Cabaret. And it's like and we couldn't even do the full show because we're in Texas and
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
But yeah, no, it's such a good show. It's such a good show.
The only live
If
show
anyone
I
has
saw
seen it.
a portion of it before I got kicked out by security. So that was Les Mis. I got to see like a portion of. You weren't there for that, were you, Kevin?
I
Were
was
you here for that
not, but
episode?
I tend to get kicked out by security apparently, so I should have been there.
Do we have to do did we air your story? Did it
We,
actually
I
air?
think we, no, I think you made it a clip. I think you made it a
Yeah, but
clip.
it
You
didn't
clipped
air.
it. So
Yeah.
there's an unaired adventure, guys, that I've been kind of hinting at here and there. And Elliot gets the joke every time. I
I'm
was
just
more
like,
obsessed
of
with making
all
out and groping a
musicals.
girlfriend instead of watching Les Mis. That the actual people on stage were like staring at us while they were going through a performance. That they had to ask us to leave, and I was banned from field trips for the rest of senior year.
You're
I
the
don't
original
even
Lauren
want to
Boebert.
know. What?
You're the original Lauren Boebert.
That's exactly what popped in my head. I
Yeah.
didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it, but that's what popped in my head. You Boberted that, didn't you?
Yeah.
Nothing gets Freddie going more than the French Revolution.
Mm-mm. Revolution in
He
my
sees the
pants.
guillotine and he's like,
Psych.
it's
There you
on.
go.
He's like,
For
Get
that,
suffering.
off.
I'm down for
Oof. Excited.
that.
But no, I'm to be real with you, like as I've enjoyed the fact, and I want to kind of start winding down here, the end of the show because it's been a great season. It's been a lot of fun. We've had some great guests. I want to just take a moment here to just thank everybody that's been on the show, as a guest, as a guest host. My guest host here is Kevin and Ellie, of course. Just been able and John, when you stepped in and were co-hosting with Kevin
Mhm.
too, that was great.
Yeah,
I
that
appreciate you
was good.
doing
You should
that.
do that more often.
You should do that more often. But the thing that we want to do here, I want to do, is just thank the primos, the listener, the viewer. We've tried a few new things here, and I hope that you've enjoyed it. And we do get some great feedback. We had a bigger following this time around. I want to thank Kevin. Kevin, we've been doing this together for what going on feels like 4 years with you, 3 years with
I
you, give
think
or take.
3. Yeah, maybe 4.
Three. I think, yeah, 3 years. It's been a lot of fun. Me and Chikuma started this back in 2018 as two primos, one drunken phone call, and the guy that had a laptop. And we're like, hey man, people need to hear our voice too. That was his mission. He's like, we have voices. They need to hear it. You
Agreed.
know what? And that sparked this whole project. And since then, we've been able to be part of some great collaborations with different Comic Cons. We do it Mex Americon. We had our show there. Texas Latino Comic Con as well. I know, Kevin, you travel a lot for different cons. So does Elia. And, I appreciate Elia as well for joining us here. And you brought a spice to this show, Prima, that, was very much needed. And I appreciate you and the energy and time you put into this. Look at her now. She's fighting God knows what just to be on the show for the last episode of the season.
The show
But
needs to be spiced, and if she's not here, it won't be.
it's not spice. It's not spice. But I want to just take that moment, just thank everybody for listening. Of course, I'll say my final goodbyes here after the fact, but just wanted to take a moment, thank Kevin, thank Eda, thank John, of course, and everybody that's participated and followed along and kept us going. We're gonna come back next season. We're gonna try some new things. We're gonna take this time to kind of recharge our batteries creatively and really just come up with a lot more content. I hate that I have to say that word content, but that's just kind of the term.
Yeah.
But I want to create more fun things for you all to enjoy,
I
and
have
I want to
my
be a part of
reading
that.
list. This is my
Ooh, you
reading
gotta
list
read.
for the
I'm
break.
I'm gonna ask ChatGPT what we should do.
Don't do
Okay.
that. Don't be that guy, Kevin. But I want to give you all a
No,
moment, to kind of just say your piece here at the end too for the closing of the show and the season. John, let's start with you, man. I know you've only been on it like what 6 times and hosted
Yeah.
like maybe two or three, but your goodbyes to the primos and kind of like the show in general.
No, thank you guys for having me. It's been great from being like a guest to getting to meet you guys in person and hang out at the show and stuff. That was like an amazing experience for like this year and everything. And like this show is awesome. This show is great. It's one that I always recommend to people who have like new projects and stuff. I always say like go talk to them. Like they're good people. Like they'll genuinely be excited for your project if you're excited for your project. I was like, so as long as like you got that, like this is a perfect place for people to go because it's so welcoming and so nerdy of a community. Like each one of you kind of has like your own thing. Like Kevin's just a walking encyclopedia of comics in like a way that I never thought possible of like a person. I was like, this is insane.
yeah, and I
Yeah.
talk too much.
So like, yeah, and like Eddie has got like all the D&D stuff like down packed, ready to go. So that was like awesome. And then Freddie, like you and me talk like on occasion. I will just like text and like catch up and stuff, which is awesome. So yeah, I love being on anytime I can be, or if you guys ever need someone to like jump on and help out, I'm more than willing to do it.
Always welcome, John. Definitely,
Heck yeah.
definitely. Elia, how about you? What are your final thoughts for the season here?
Well, I'm happy I was able to join. This is my first full season with the Primos, and I'm glad I could be on even on the days where I'm like, I'm sick, goodbye. um, no, I'm glad I've been able to join and meet so many great people. I'm glad I was able to share this space with other people at shows. Like it's always cool to meet La Comunidad out in the wild, essentially. See that there's so many Latina nerds out there who just want a community to feel okay in, and this is a home for y'all. And just as much as like y'all inspire me, like I'm hoping that I'm bringing that back out. Like I got my new comic coming out that was funded this year. I got Princesa Taco next year, so I hope to feel that same energy from all the creators I get to talk to all year round here. It's so cool seeing everyone make cool things.
For sure. And Mr.
Yeah.
Kevin Garcia, what about you, man? How do you in the season here, season 7?
Honestly, I love being on my Primos podcast because you guys inspire me to keep going. You know what I mean? We get to talk about cool stuff and have conversations, but also like we meet people like John or Elia or you, Freddie, who have goals and go out and pursue them. I don't think I would have done World's War Comics if this year if I didn't have that, you know, kind of that emotional support of the podcast. So that's what I love about it. Which, by the way, I put it on Global Comics right now, so people could, you know, go and get it, read it digitally.
Get out.
You know, I'm working on the second issue already, but the thing is like we don't joke about it, but we often just kind of flippantly say, you know, we're family, but it is a family, and that includes the listeners and everybody that jumps in on the Discord and everybody that you know jumps in on social media and TikTok and everything. It's honestly refreshing. There's hope in the world.
That's kind of you to say, man, because to round it out finally here is just to my closing deal here is that we get to do something together and it's something memorable to us. And at the end of the day, as long as we enjoy it and we can walk away from it, that we put everything we could into it and are happy with it, then that's all we want, right? And whatever we do. And the podcast has been a great avenue to meet great people. I've had great opportunities. Like I said, I joke around sometimes. I'm like, hey man, I'm gonna hand off the reins to somebody else because you know eventually I'm just not gonna be the guy anymore. No, but I will keep doing this as long as people want it, and the community wants our voices heard. Like Ochikume said, the ghost of this podcast that everybody asked me, like, who's this Chikume guy? And I was like, he exists. I promise. People want to hear our voices. We have voices. We've always made that very loud and clear. Like we have an opinion. We have our voices. We have ideas. We don't have to wait to get accepted or doors open for us. Let's make our own tables and our own seats. Let's make our own. Let's make noise, like I used to say back in the day. Like let's make this happen. Like it's a mosh pit of people. Latinidad has so many people and so many clusters of different tastes and likes. There's room for everybody, right? And let's just make sure that we always remember that no matter where we're from, we're all primos. And I say that wholeheartedly in everything we do here on the show. And I hope that if you're a listener or a viewer and this is maybe your first time, the first season, go back, check out those older shows because there's great creators on there that still are making things today that were featured that couldn't get on this season. And I'll open up the doors like I said before, like John said it. If you have something you want to bring on and talk about, come on. We're excited to talk about it. Reach out to us. Don't hesitate. At My Primos Podcast. Of course, you can reach out to everybody here on their socials. At Avinia Comics.
Message me.
Kevin Garcia _com. At Spice Illustrations. And of course, Kevin, good?
Well, I was going to say Kevin Garcia _com on TikTok and Instagram, but I have been dipping my toe into Blue Sky, and there they won't let me do underscores, so it's just Kevin Garcia. So Kevin Garcia, at Blue Sky, and it's pretty nice out there. It's I never really got into Twitter, but this is kind of like friendly
refreshing.
Twitter. Yeah.
Good. But Primos, we're going to end the show. We will see you guys sometime in February. That's kind of the window we give each other. Keep an eye out for us on socials. We will be in touch. Reach out to us, Primos. And remember, check in on each other. Look out for each other. Remember, no matter where we're from, we're all Primos. Until next time.
We out!
Primos, we've made it to the end of a season. Thank you so much for watching and listening. We appreciate it from the bottom of my heart again. Thanks so much for supporting this show for so many years and hopefully for more to come. My Primos Podcast is brought to you by Chikume and My Primos Media. Our hosts this week were Elia Maria Madrid. Check her out at Spice Illustration. Mr. KevinGarcia.com. Of course, Kevin Garcia can be found on all socials at Kevin Garcia _com. It's a Blue Sky where he's just Kevin Garcia.
A big shout out and thank you to John Avina from Avina Comics. Check him out at Avina Comics. Go support his work, especially my favorite, Americana. You will not regret it. And go check out the Kickstarter live right now. Bob Shelley and the Atomic. And Primos, remember, you can reach us at My Primos Podcast and myprimospodcast.com. We are still going to be active on socials. We may pop up here and there. Never know. Keep an eye on our socials for that. But from myself and other Primos here, know that we appreciate every single one of you. Remember, if you're a creator or somebody that wants to come on the show, have a great conversation, feel free to reach out to us. Remember, like I always say, take care of each other, look in on each other, and no matter where you're from, we're all Primos, and we'll see you next season. Adios.